Hello and welcome back to Great Yarmouth. It hasn't been that long at all. I think this is like the shortest gap between Great Yarmouth visits. I mean, I'm only here for the weekend this time. But yeah, so starting off with Joyland, of course. I don't know if I'm going to pop in here a few times today, because I have basically only got today to come here in the Britannia Pier. Because I'm at Pleasure Beach tomorrow, Pleasurewood Hills on Sunday. New rides, new coaster cred. And then, yeah, that's it. Like, it's very short. It's a flying visit, really, compared to other visits to Yarmouth. Obviously, you can't come here for a day. It's not like Blackpool, where I went in January. I didn't vlog it because the rides weren't open in Coral Island. But, yeah, that was a flying visit. I don't think I got a glimpse of the sea. It was... Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was a nice enough visit to Blackpool. But yeah, just not much was open really. But yeah, here at Joyland, you know, this place is very seasonal. But yeah, the season just started here. This is the earliest I've ever been. I've never come in April before. It does mean I get to see the Pirate Circus show later on. So yeah, obviously I'm looking forward to getting back on the Snails. There's one are they on the second row? Spook Express, yeah. Spook Express is unique, and that's one of the more modern rides. Interesting, Neptune's Kingdom. When I saw a vlog, the audio wasn't working, like the soundtrack, the iconic soundtrack in there wasn't working because they couldn't get it working. I mean, considering that's the only issue, I mean, I've never known that to break before. That's the only issue here on opening day. Listen to that Alton Towers and Drayton Manor. You need smaller parks. Come and support these places, because they're going to need it with Universal. These places really are the core of the UK industry. And you can say whatever you like, but these places are the ones that you come here and you enjoy. If you look at it through the lens of its target audience, you love it. Yeah, people who say, you're looking at the 7 major parks. The major parks should be the ones that do well, not the ones that are well known. You know. Yeah, I mean, of course this place is great with the locals. People come on here because they've come as a kid and their grandparents have come here, you know. So I think, you know, with that level of support, as long as that continues and more people come here and make new memories, it should be fine. You know, they put so much effort. I mean, look at this. This is better themed than most major parks. Yeah. You know, the smaller parks are better than the big parks. I know, you know, when I go on Neptune's Kingdom, you'll see, even if the music's not working, it's physically themed, not a screen in sight. Just saying. Who puts the effort in, and what's lazy, what's creative. This is creative. Merlin is lazy. But yeah, here we go. So I love this place. It's got so much charm to it, and I'm probably going to start with the Snails or the Tubs. The Tubs has had some updates as well, so I'll check that out. Here we go. There's Peter Rabbit and the other one. Yeah, I've noticed there's a new little piece of art in the station. I think it's probably just been done by like a local, because basically they have a cat who comes around Joyland at night. I mean, you're not going to see the cat now because it's too busy, but sometimes when it's closed there's just a cat that roams around, so someone's done a little piece of art. They did all these vinyls a few years ago. Obviously, you know, it's not hand painted, but they've kept a lot of the things here. The Tubs has had some updates as well. I don't know what those poles are for. Yeah, there's some poles on it. I don't know if they're going to put a cover over it. I hope that's just to protect it and it's not something that, you know, they have to do, because otherwise it's not going to run properly. But I'm sure I'll find out. Anyway. 77 years old, still going. Here we go. There's Mabel. Okay. Yeah, they haven't really got to update it. I feel like they've got Peter Rabbit on the snail. That one really kind of looks like Mabel, even though it's been there for years. Here we go. It's already changing directions a lot, so yeah. I mean, it's these poles around the side. I'm not really sure what they're going to be, like lighting or like a canopy over the top of it. Hopefully, it is just to protect it from the elements, and it's not like, oh, it needs to be done because otherwise it can't run properly. You know. Yeah, it just seems to be going a bit slower than normal. Maybe that. Yeah, they've added all these new boards around the side. Yeah, maybe it'll warm up for that, because someone said the jet cars was going a bit slower and the snails might have been as well. Just so I don't know. This is a pound coat. Oh, there we go. It's still jolting quite a bit. There we go. There, that's more like it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Neptune's will be fine. They've got the music sorted. I've just walked past, so that's good. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, it's going really slow. Yeah, hopefully they get these little things sorted, or if it's intentional for now, you know. You know, this feels a bit slower, but it's kind of better on here. I think the snails in the tub should be a bit faster, but I think this is an improvement. I don't know why the music's so emotional. I think it's because I love these older dark rides so much. I mean, there's probably... Are there even 10 decent dark rides in the UK anymore? This is probably in my top 10. Yeah, I think that seemed to break in its first year, but it's been working ever since. Here's Neptune. Oh, his arm's moving, his head's not, but still. Fish is moving there. Yeah. That was good. I've noticed these signs around the park as well. I know they've got like a shop in this arcade now. We'll have to have a look. I don't think they've got any ride parks, but if they did, then I'd buy one. But yeah, I'm guessing it's just like a little car ride. But it's interesting to see. Yeah, it is. But you know, they've added something in there, so. Yeah. Let's see how fast this goes, because I have heard this has been toned down a bit. Yeah, hopefully it's just, you know, it's just for the start of the season, so I can warm up maybe. Okay. I think this might actually be going normal speed, I don't know. Not sure what that is in the middle. I think they might have like refloored some of it, so they've just put the old bits there, I don't know. I don't know if this is slower or not, it's hard to tell, but it doesn't... It's not sticking out to me as slower, so yeah, the other rides felt more different to the speed. That was actually alright. Here we go again. I did have a go on the tubs, it felt a bit more like it that time. Yeah, there was a lot more spinning, it didn't... Yeah. Pacing was better on it, I think, yeah. Here we go. I might as well just slide all the way across into the middle. Yeah, because when you get certain bits of merch, you'll get a free ride token. Yeah, you do have to get it changed at the kiosk. So, there is a bit of theming in here, you can't really see it. There we go. Yeah, I did it at the station a few years ago. Fun fact about that, the train is the same as the former train for Jellykins at Fantasy Island when it used to be Junior Romps Rocket. I'm not sure if they allowed adults on it then.
Oh, we jingle all the time.
It would have made sense if they did, because the problem is with that, it's perfectly safe to have adults on. They just put roofs on the trains, so that means that it's obviously not safe, but there's no weight limit on it or anything, because that's fine. But they, they decided to put roofs on it, so you have to crouch over. Right. Here we go. It's always obviously the same ride operator on. I mean, I think he's been working here since the 80s at least. It's just lovely because you do see the same people, and it's obviously an enjoyable job because, you know, there's no quick turnaround. People have been working here for 40 years, you know. It's great. Yeah, it's always a good sign. I mean, a lot of, you know, theme parks, a lot of people will work there short time for the experience, but even then it's nice when they still enjoy it, you know. But yeah, here it's like, it wouldn't be the same without that aspect of it. Yeah, a little hidden detail there. There's Neptune. Yeah, that's the only thing, its head's not turning, that's the only thing. It's a small little thing though. Last Friday, I should have filmed on the tubs for my second time really, but yeah. Okay, you're really close to the trees. Yeah, I noticed this place has got every era of childhood, right? Because there's a really old Postman Pat kiddie ride outside the park that's probably been there since the 80s or 90s. But they've got Bluey in the claw machines. You see, they could do both. The BBC will let them because, you know, Postman Pat riders just bought, you know, it was licensed by the company who made it. So, you know, it doesn't matter what era of childhood you are, you've still got your thing here. Here we go. Try and relax to get some airtime. Hey, oh. It was a bit of a jolt. I love the little post office there, like the theming on it. It's so well finished off. Oh, you can't get custom rides like this anymore. And yes, I have got the attitude of someone from, you know, who was born in, like, you know, the 90s at latest. But, you know, theme parks just aren't the same anymore. They're not, like, dart rides. When you're into dart rides, it's a difficult world. And there we go, at the beach exit of Joyland. Interesting to see the donkey rides are on, although it just seems to be warming up. Yeah, I mean, it's classic, isn't it? It would be nice if they sold ride parts in the shop. It's just like the coasters, the bears and stuff that you can get. I did get a Joyland, a Sammy the Snail plush for Christmas, I think it was, or that was my birthday. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they should sell rides, because obviously the rides are so unique. You didn't be able to buy any of those. I mean, you got 4 rides that are one of a kind, built by Horace Cole originally, and then the Spook Express. There's only 6 of those in the world, but none of the other parks like sell ride parts. Fantasy Island's got, well, no, there's only 5 of them, aren't there? Because Rhombus Express is a coaster, but it's a different model of coaster. So yeah, so Fantasy Island's got Rhombus Jellykins. They don't sell ride parts. There's Greenwood Forest, I don't think they sell ride parts. Legoland's got 2 and they don't sell ride parts, so it would be unique still that you'd be able to own a piece of that ride. But yeah, so, but it's brilliant. You know, you can't beat it. It's one of my favourite parks, and it probably always will be. But it will always will be because of the family history. Sometimes you can't beat the feeling that you get from a place. I don't care about Universal. In fact, I kind of worry about Universal because of the damage that it could do to the smaller parks. The bigger parks, that people keep saying the industry's crumbling, the bigger parks are going to be fine. The smaller parks, they're already suffering. And, I mean, this place seems to be doing quite well because of the locals. But there are places, like Breen, that are really struggling, and you need to go to them. You can't keep going to the same places. You need the smaller parks. If the smaller parks crumble, the industry crumbles. That's where, you know, and the smaller parks put effort in, the rides operate properly. You see it through the eyes of its target audience. You won't see the industry crumbling, you'll just see the big parks crumbling. But the big parks are going to have to compete with Universal. The small parks, we need separately to Universal for a separate target audience. But for me, they're the most important parks, and they always will be, because of the charm. They really care about their audience. You can't say a big company of people in offices cares about their audience, because they don't. They just want to make money. They only care if it makes them money. Places like this, they want you to have the best experience. This is owned by one person, Mikey Cole, it's been run by the same family for 77 years since the Snails opened. This is the type of place you need to be supporting, like genuine family businesses. And the Pleasure Beach as well. Obviously that's a bit of a bigger business, but it's still an independent family park. Pleasurewood Hills, they do have a sister park now. I don't know if they'll do anything for that, because it's a bit far away. Ocean Beach, I'm pretty sure they actually own Ocean Beach in South Shields. They don't just own a few rides, because it is the sort of showman-owned ride, but I think they own the land. I think they do own the park. So there's actually, Pleasurewood Hills still has a sister park in the country. Of course, it used to be Drayton Manor and West Midlands Safari Park, but if you went to Drayton Manor and West Midlands Safari Park and then went to Pleasurewood Hills, it was like a different world. I think they can bring them in line and make them both kept really well. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing the changes. I think it's more the general upkeep than the new ride. I mean, of course, a coaster credit's nice, but it's more the general, like the dart rides had a full refurbishment. It's just getting the weeds out of the paths. That's such a cheap, simple thing to fix, but Looping Group couldn't be bothered. I'm glad they sold it and they weren't greedy. Oh, we can have this asset and then run it into the ground, and then there's nothing left, and it's this childhood park that's gone to rack and ruin. So I'm glad they sold it, and they weren't like Merlin. They sold it, and now they found an owner. They searched for an owner that would do a better job than they did. Although they don't seem to be doing a good job with Drayton Manor, but you know, they've done good with the theming and stuff. But the last couple of weeks at Drayton Manor have been, yeah. I do have a Drayton Manor annual pass. Let's hope that it was worth it. I won't be going for a couple of weeks now, though. I think it's 2 weeks. So we'll wait and see what Drayton Manor's like. Hopefully, it's better than I mean, at least I've got an annual pass. It's half an hour away. I can just drive there whenever. Just have a weekend there, and you still want it to be good for the people who have travelled miles. And that's the thing, the big parks are well known. People travel miles to go to them and are disappointed. The smaller parks, people say, oh yeah, they don't need to do that well. And technically they don't, but they do. And that's why you do need to travel to them, because they put the effort in. So the next, 5 years before Universal opens, get to these places, make them known, keep the charm and the atmosphere, which I'm sure they will. And then this is how you have an industry. These are the best parks in the UK right now, as well as Poulton's. Poulton's is the only major park that's actually, putting the effort in. But the 7 big parks that are struggling, it's kind of their own fault, whereas a lot of the smaller parks are struggling because they're not getting the support. And if possible, especially if cheaper than big parks and easier to get to, go to them. There's no excuse to choose a big park over a small park, if that's the case. So yeah, places like this. Anyway, that's the rant. I do have a passion for these places because they are what the industry's built on. You don't just say the industry's crumbling, you should say, well, maybe the smaller parks should be what the industry's built on instead of the big parks at the moment, and hopefully the big parks improve, because it is good to have the higher budget parks, but you need the balance, and at the moment the best parks are the smaller independent ones. So yeah, but that's Joyland, and it's a perfect example of that. Support it, always give feedback, and get on these one-of-a-kind rides.